Back at the agency's headquarters, the air is thick with tension. The atmosphere buzzes with the hum of computers, the shuffle of papers, and the distant echo of hurried footsteps. In the control room, Karina, a master assassin who just returned from a mission, moves with a lethal grace, her eyes constantly scanning the monitors for any signs of trouble. Beside her, Bianca, a member of the agency's pack, watches the screens with intense focus, her senses heightened and ready for anything. But something feels off. Since their return from the mission, there's been an uneasiness among the personnel, a feeling that something is wrong. The room is dimly lit, the only light coming from the monitors and the occasional flicker of fluorescent bulbs overhead. Karina senses it too, her instincts screaming at her. She steps closer to Bianca, her voice low. Something isn't right. Have you noticed anything strange? Bianca nods, her eyes narrowing. Yeah, it's been too quiet. And where's Aleksandra? She was supposed to be here when we got back. Before Karina can respond, an alarm blares through the control room, red lights flashing across the panels. A loud crash sounds from down the hall, followed by the unmistakable roar of a beast. The monitors flash with chaotic images, prisoners being freed, guards being attacked, and the security systems being sabotaged. Karina grabs her earpiece, her voice sharp. Control, what's happening? Report. Static fills the line, then a panicked voice breaks through. It's Aleksandra. She's attacking the control room. She's freeing the prisoners. We can't. The line goes dead, and Karina's eyes widen in realization. That's not Aleksandra. It's the changeling. Bianca's eyes flash with anger, and she bares her teeth, her wolf instincts flaring. That creature's trying to take over the facility. We have to stop it. They sprint down the hallway towards the control room, weapons drawn. The sounds of battle grow louder with every step. Shouts, gunfire, and the growls of the freed prisoners echo through the halls. As they burst through the doors of the control room, they're met with chaos. The room is a battlefield. Guards lie injured or worse on the floor, and freed prisoners, along with a few rogue operatives, are fighting the remaining personnel. In the center of it all stands the changeling, its form shifting and twisting, mimicking the shape of Aleksandra perfectly. It moves with unnatural speed and strength, tearing through anyone in its path. Karina doesn't hesitate. She lunges at the changeling with a flurry of precise strikes, her blades flashing in the dim light. The changeling dodges and weaves, countering with strikes of its own, its body morphing and elongating as it moves. Bianca circles around, her claws extended, ready to pounce. The changeling hisses, its voice a distorted version of Aleksandra's. You think you can stop me? I've already weakened your defenses. Soon, Ultranaecious Eternus will control this entire facility, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Karina sneers, ducking under a wild swing and delivering a powerful kick to the changeling's side. We'll see about that. The fight intensifies, the control room becoming a blur of movement. Bianca leaps at the changeling, slashing with her claws, but the creature dodges and throws her across the room. She lands with a grunt, quickly rolling to her feet, her eyes blazing with fury. Karina presses the attack, her movements swift and deadly. She manages to land a few cuts on the changeling, but the creature's wounds heal almost instantly, its shape constantly shifting. The changeling snarls, its patience wearing thin. With a screech, it shifts into its true form. A grotesque creature with elongated limbs, black, oily skin, and eyes that glow with an unnatural light. It lets out a bone-chilling howl, the sound reverberating through the walls. The change in form catches Karina and Bianca off guard, and the changeling uses the momentary distraction to lash out, sending them both crashing into the control panels. As they struggle to regain their footing, the changeling charges toward the main console, its intent clear. If it gains control of the facility's systems, it could unleash a nightmare upon the agency and allow Ultranaecious to teleport his forces directly inside. But before the changeling can reach the console, the control room's doors burst open again. Gunner and the assault team rush in, weapons raised and ready. Gunner's eyes lock onto the changeling, and his voice is filled with authority. Stand down. You're not taking this facility. The changeling hisses, its eyes narrowing as it sees Gunner and the heavily armed team. Realizing it's outnumbered, it lets out a guttural snarl. If I can't control this facility, then I'll make sure none of you leave alive. It lunges at Gunnar with a speed that catches everyone off guard, its claws aiming for his throat. Time seems to slow as the team reacts, but it's Trinity, or Mocking Jay, who moves first. Without hesitation, she throws herself between Gunnar and the changeling, taking the full force of the attack. The changeling's claws tear into her, and she cries out in pain. But she doesn't falter. She grabs hold of the changeling, using every ounce of strength to hold it back. Gunnar shouts in horror, "Trinity, no!" The changeling, realizing it's being restrained, thrashes wildly, its form shifting and twisting as it tries to break free. But Trinity holds on, her face contorted in pain and determination. "Get out of here," she gasps, her voice barely a whisper. "I've got this." Ashley and Sophia move to help, but Trinity shakes her head, her eyes locking with Gunnar's. "Go! Now! Get everyone out!" Tears fill Gunnar's eyes as he understands what Trinity is doing. "We're not leaving you." But Trinity gives him a small, sad smile. "It's okay, Gunnar. This is what I was meant for. Go, save the others." With a final, desperate effort, she pushes the changeling back towards the main console, her body trembling with exertion. "Get the hell out of here!" she screams, her voice filled with defiance. Realizing there's no other choice, Gunnar nods, choking back his grief. "Team, fall back, now!" As the team rushes out of the control room, Bianca and Karina among them, the changeling lets out a furious roar, realizing it's about to be thwarted. It changes tactics, deciding to self-destruct and take everyone with it. The room fills with a blinding light as the changeling begins to glow, its body swelling with unstable energy. But Trinity, with her last ounce of strength, slams her fist down on the emergency lockdown button on the console, sealing the control room's blast doors. She turns to face the changeling, her face calm, accepting her fate. "Not today, you son of a bitch!" The changeling's body explodes in a brilliant flash of light, the shockwaves shaking the entire facility. The blast doors hold, containing the explosion within the control room. Outside, the team is thrown to the ground by the force of the blast. As the dust settles, the facility falls eerily silent. The team slowly gets to their feet, their faces etched with shock and sorrow. Gunnar stands, his eyes fixed on the now sealed control room, his heart heavy with the loss of Trinity. Ashley places a hand on his shoulder, her voice breaking. She saved us all." Gunnar nods, his voice a whisper. "She was one of the best. We'll never forget her." Bianca, her eyes wet with tears, looks at the sealed doors, her voice filled with anger and grief. "We're going to make them pay for this. For Trinity. For everyone." Karina nods, her face set with determination. "We'll stop Ultranaecious. We'll stop the Black Dawn, no matter what it takes." As they regroup, Gunnar takes a deep breath, wiping away his tears. "We've lost a lot today, but we can't let it be in vain. We have to finish what we started. For Trinity. For everyone who's counting on us." The team nods, their resolve strengthened by their loss. They know the fight against Ultranaecious and the Black Dawn is far from over, but they're more determined than ever to see it through to the end. Together, they'll honor Trinity's sacrifice and do whatever it takes to protect the agency and the world from the darkness that threatens to consume them all. As they move out, their hearts heavy but their spirits unbroken, they know one thing for certain: they won't stop fighting. Not now, not ever. The battle continues, and they'll face it head-on, just like Trinity would have wanted. Days turned to weeks at the agency's headquarters. The scars of the recent battle were still visible, both in the damaged sections of the facility and in the hearts of those who survived. Trinity's sacrifice weighed heavily on everyone. She was not just a skilled operative, but a beloved teammate and friend. The loss of her presence left a void that seemed impossible to fill. With the control room still being repaired and the facility's defenses strengthened, the team focused on rebuilding and finding answers. Karina, Bianca, and the others worked tirelessly, driven by a shared determination to ensure Trinity's death wasn't in vain. The corridors, once bustling with camaraderie and lighthearted banter, were now filled with quiet conversations and a lingering sense of loss. The memorial set up for Trinity in the main hall was a constant reminder of the price they'd paid. Flowers, candles, and mementos from her fellow agents surrounded her photograph. Each day, team members would stop by to pay their respects, sharing stories and memories that kept her spirit alive. Without any remains to recover after the changeling's self-destruction, her absence felt even more surreal. It was as if she had vanished into thin air, leaving behind only the echoes of her bravery and sacrifice. Gunnar and Ashley especially found it difficult to move on, their guilt and grief palpable every time they passed her memorial. They'd lost teammates before, but this was different. It felt like a piece of the agency's very soul had been ripped away. Meanwhile, Reagan and Sophia focused their efforts on unraveling the mystery of Aleksandra's disappearance. They knew that the Aleksandra they had encountered was a changeling, a supernatural spy who had infiltrated their ranks. The real Aleksandra was still out there somewhere, likely in the clutches of Ultranaecious. In the data center, Reagan and Sophia sat side by side, surrounded by screens filled with surveillance footage, reports, and intercepted communications. The hum of computers and the soft glow of the monitors provided a stark contrast to the grim determination on their faces. Reagan's eyes were sharp and focused as she sifted through data, her sniper instincts honed for this kind of meticulous work. Sophia leaned forward, tapping a series of keys to bring up a set of encrypted files they had recently decrypted. These documents were pulled from the changeling's personal effects. They're heavily coded, but I think they might have something about Aleksandra's location. Reagan nodded, her voice calm but tense. Let's see if we can piece it together. We've been going in circles for days. We need a break in this case. The two of them worked in silence for several hours, cross-referencing names, locations, and timestamps, trying to build a timeline of events that might point them in the right direction. Sophia's mind raced with every connection they made, but nothing seemed to add up. It was as if Aleksandra had vanished without a trace. Finally, Reagan pulled up an obscure file buried deep within the recovered data. It was a report from several months ago, detailing a series of mysterious shipments to an old fortress in Eastern Europe. The fortress was ancient, nearly a ruin, but the records indicated it had recently been fortified and was being used for special operations by an unknown group. The dates matched up with the last known sighting of Aleksandra before the changeling took her place. Reagan tapped the screen, her voice barely above a whisper. Look at this. These shipments, ammunition, specialized equipment, even medical supplies. They've been going to this fortress for months, and it's all tied to the Black Dawn. Sophia's eyes widened as she read through the report, her heart pounding with a mix of hope and fear. You think this could be it? Where they're keeping her? Reagan nodded slowly, her expression grim. It fits. If the Black Dawn took Aleksandra, they'd need a secure location to hold her. And with all this gear being sent there, it's like they're preparing for something big. Sophia leaned back in her chair, her mind racing. If they have her there, she could be a prisoner. Or worse. We need to tell Gunnar. We need to move now. They quickly compiled their findings and headed to Gunnar's office, where he and Ashley were already discussing the next steps for the agency. The tension in the room was palpable as Reagan and Sophia laid out their discovery, pointing to the fortress in Eastern Europe as the most likely location for Aleksandra's imprisonment. Gunnar listened carefully, his brow furrowed in concentration. When they finished, he sat back in his chair, his expression thoughtful. This fortress, it's not just some random hideout. It's strategically located, hard to access, and easy to defend. If the Black Dawn has been fortifying it, they're expecting something or someone to come after them. Ashley crossed her arms, her face set with determination. We can't leave Aleksandra there. If she's still alive, we have to get her out. And if the Black Dawn is planning something, we need to know what it is. Gunnar nodded, his eyes narrowing. Agreed. We'll put together a strike team. Reagan, Sophia, you've done good work. You'll be part of this mission. Karina and Bianca will join as well. We need our best on this. As they began to make preparations for the mission, there was a sense of urgency in the air. The thought of Aleksandra being held captive by Ultranaecious was unbearable, and the team was determined to bring her home. But beneath that determination was also a lingering fear. The fear of what else they might find at that fortress, and the dark secrets the Black Dawn had yet to reveal. In the days that followed, the team trained relentlessly, their minds focused on the mission ahead. Weapons were cleaned and checked, tactical plans were reviewed and revised, and every possible scenario was considered. This wasn't just a rescue mission, it was a chance to strike back at the Black Dawn and bring some semblance of justice for Trinity's sacrifice. Finally, the day arrived. The team gathered at the portal, their faces grim and determined. Gunnar stood before them, his expression serious as he addressed the group. "This is it. We're going to get Aleksandra back, and we're going to make the Black Dawn pay for everything they've done. Stay sharp, stay focused, and watch each other's backs. We move out in 5." As the portal activated, the swirling light reflecting in their eyes, the team prepared to step into the unknown. The fortress in Eastern Europe awaited, and with it, the hope of finding Aleksandra alive and stopping the Black Dawn once and for all. But as they crossed through the portal, they knew one thing for certain: whatever awaited them on the other side, they would face it together. The team stands gathered in the preparation chamber, the air tense with anticipation. The portal hums with a low, ominous energy, swirling with blue and silver light, waiting to transport them to the fortress in Eastern Europe, where they believe Aleksandra is being held. Aeliana Vale, the elf mage, steps forward, her robes flowing around her like a cascade of moonlight. Her face is serious, her eyes distant, as if listening to something beyond this world. Aeliana looks at Gunnar, her expression filled with an ancient sorrow. "I cannot take part in this battle. I am forbidden by the old laws that govern my kind." Gunnar, standing tall with a determined look, nods, understanding the restrictions she faces. "We'll manage. We've got a job to do." Aeliana's gaze softens slightly as she looks at the team assembled before her. Clora, the extraction security; Desiree, the Overwatch sniper; Ashley, the team leader; Jewel, the team medic; and Gunnar, the site commander. "Before you go, have your pack step forth and present their silver daggers." Each member of the team steps forward, drawing their silver daggers from their belts. They hold them out, their blades glinting in the dim light. The silver is a rare weapon against the dark forces they know they might face. Aeliana raises her hands and a soft, ethereal glow emanates from her fingertips, enveloping each dagger in a shimmering light. She speaks in a language older than time, her words resonating with a deep magical power. The daggers pulse with a new energy, the silver now glowing with an enchanted aura. As she completes the enchantment, Aeliana's voice is clear and strong. "These daggers will not kill a demon, but they will send them back to the abyss from whence they came. It will take them a day or two to reappear. Use them wisely." Gunnar sheathes his dagger, his face set with determination. "We'll use every advantage we have. Thank you, Aeliana." Aeliana nods, stepping back. "May the spirits guide you and protect you. I will meet you on the other side of the portal to assist where I can." With their daggers enchanted and weapons ready, the team steps toward the portal. One by one, they disappear into the swirling light, the cold air of the chamber replaced by the frigid winds of the fortress in Eastern Europe. As the team emerges on the other side of the portal, they find themselves on a narrow path leading to the ancient fortress. The structure is imposing, its dark stone walls towering above them, flanked by dense forests on all sides. Snow falls lightly, and the air is bitterly cold, each breath a puff of mist in the icy air. The fortress seems to pulse with a malevolent energy, the shadows around it shifting and twisting as if alive. Gunnar signals for the team to move forward. "Stay close, stay sharp. We don't know what we're walking into." They advance cautiously, their senses on high alert. As they approach the main gate, Desiree, or Night Owl, finds a vantage point on a nearby hill, setting up her sniper rifle to provide overwatch. Clora, or Little Bird, takes a position near the rear to secure the extraction point, her eyes scanning the forest for any signs of movement. Ashley, or Eagle, leads the assault team, with Sophia, or Copper, at her side. Jewel, the team medic, follows closely, her medical kit slung over her shoulder, ready for anything. Gunnar brings up the rear, his eyes constantly moving, searching for threats. They make their way into the fortress through a side entrance, moving quickly and quietly through the dark, narrow corridors. The air is thick with the smell of damp stone and the faint scent of sulfur, a telltale sign of demonic presence. Suddenly, a low growl echoes through the hall, followed by the sound of heavy footsteps. Gunnar raises his hand, signaling the team to stop. They press against the walls, weapons ready, as a group of demonic entities rounds the corner ahead of them. The creatures are grotesque, their skin black and oily, their eyes glowing with an unnatural red light. Ashley gives the signal, and the team engages. Gunfire erupts, the sound deafening in the enclosed space. The demons roar, their bodies twisting and writhing as bullets tear through them. Sophia slashes with her enchanted dagger, the blade glowing as it cuts through the air, sending one of the demons back to hell in a burst of light. Jewel moves quickly, dodging a swipe from a demon's claw, and drives her dagger into its chest. The creature howls as it disintegrates into a cloud of black smoke. Gunnar fires his rifle, dropping another demon before it can reach him. But the demons keep coming, pouring in from all sides, their numbers seemingly endless. Desiree provides cover from above, picking off demons with precise shots. But even her skills can't stem the tide. The team fights with everything they have, their movements coordinated and deadly, but they're slowly being pushed back. Gunnar shouts over the chaos, "We need to get to Aleksandra. Keep pushing forward." They press on, fighting their way through the onslaught of demons. Every step is a struggle, every swing of a dagger or pull of a trigger, a desperate attempt to break through. As they reach the inner sanctum of the fortress, they find Aleksandra chained to a wall, barely conscious. Her body is bruised and battered, her clothes torn, and her eyes glazed with pain and exhaustion. Jewel rushes to her side, her medical instincts kicking in. "Hang on, Aleksandra. We're getting you out of here." She quickly assesses Aleksandra's condition, pulling out supplies from her kit and starting to treat her wounds. Gunnar and Ashley stand guard, their eyes scanning the room for any more threats. But as Jewel works, a shadow falls over them. One of the demons, larger and more powerful than the rest, steps forward, its eyes blazing with fury. It lunges at Desiree, who is caught off guard, her attention focused on covering the team. The demon's claws slash through her leg, and she screams in pain, collapsing to the ground. Gunnar's voice is filled with panic. "Desiree!" Jewel's head snaps up at the sound of Desiree's scream. She glances between Aleksandra and Desiree, torn. "I have to stabilize her first. You keep them off us." Ashley and Sophia step up, their daggers flashing as they fend off the demons. Gunnar moves to Desiree's side, firing his rifle at the advancing demons. Desiree's face is pale, her leg a bloody mess. Jewel works quickly, pulling out a tourniquet and wrapping it around Desiree's thigh, just above the knee. She tightens it, trying to stem the bleeding, but the damage is severe. Jewel looks up, her voice urgent. "We need to amputate. It's the only way to save her." Gunnar's face is grim as he nods, understanding the gravity of the situation. "Do it." Jewel moves with practiced precision, her hands steady despite the chaos around them. She pulls out a surgical saw from her kit, positioning it just above Desiree's knee. Desiree grits her teeth, her face contorted in pain as Jewel begins the amputation. Gunnar and Ashley fend off the demons, their attacks growing more frantic as they try to protect their fallen teammate. Suddenly, a blinding light fills the room. Aeliana steps through the portal, her hands glowing with magic. She raises her arms and a wave of energy bursts forth, pushing the demons back and creating a protective barrier around the team. Aeliana's voice is calm and commanding. "Hurry! I can't hold this barrier forever." Jewel works faster, her movements precise and controlled. She finishes the amputation and quickly wraps Desiree's stump in bandages, securing it tightly to stop the bleeding. Desiree's face is pale and sweaty, but she nods weakly, her eyes filled with gratitude. Gunnar helps Desiree to her feet, supporting her weight. "We need to move. Now!" The team regroups, Aleksandra leaning heavily on Ashley and Sophia as they make their way back to the portal. Aeliana's barrier flickers and fades, and the demons surge forward again, their roars filling the air. Just as they reach the portal, a massive demon, even larger than the rest, bursts through the doorway, its eyes blazing with an unholy fire. It roars and lunges at Gunnar, its claws outstretched, aiming for his throat. Time seems to slow as Gunnar raises his rifle, but he knows he won't make it in time. The demon is too fast, too powerful. In that moment, Jewel leaps in front of Gunnar, her silver dagger raised. The demon's claws tear into her, but she plunges the dagger into its chest. The creature howls as the enchanted blade sends it back to hell, but not before it slashes Jewel across the chest. She collapses to the ground, blood pouring from her wounds. The team is momentarily paralyzed by the sight of Jewel crumpling to the ground, her blood staining the cold stone floor of the fortress. A stunned silence falls over them, broken only by the growls and hisses of the demons still prowling around, waiting to strike. Gunnar's heart hammers in his chest as he rushes to Jewel's side, dropping to his knees to check her pulse. Before he can even begin to assess her wounds, a deep, resonant howl pierces through the air. The sound is powerful and commanding, echoing through the corridors of the fortress. All eyes turn toward the portal, and out of the swirling vortex of light step Beta, the gray wolf, Alpha, the dire wolf, and their 2-year-old pup, Omega, a unique blend of both breeds, half dire wolf, half gray wolf, with a gleam of fierce intelligence in his eyes. The wolf's sudden arrival sends a ripple of hope through the beleaguered team. With no hesitation, the trio launches into the fray, their movements a blur of fur and fangs. Beta, lean and fast, weaves through the ranks of demons, tearing into them with her sharp teeth, her agility unmatched. Alpha, a massive, magical beast, charges headlong into the unholy spawn, his jaws snapping with bone-crushing force. Every demon he bites or claws is thrown back, disintegrating into nothingness with each strike. Omega, the pup, though smaller, fights with the fervor and spirit of both his parents, his youthful energy bolstering his strength as he pounces on the nearest demon, tearing at it with his powerful jaws. The wolves' ferocity shifts the tide of battle almost instantly. Where the team had been on the defensive, they now find an opening to rally. Ashley, seeing the opportunity, grabs Aleksandra by the arm and pulls her towards the portal. Aleksandra, barely conscious and staggering from her injuries, leans heavily on Ashley, her steps unsteady but determined. Karina, the master assassin, moves with deadly grace through the chaos. She spots Jewel's fallen dagger and snatches it up, flipping it expertly in her hand before plunging into the melee. Her movements are fluid and precise, a dance of death as she uses the enchanted silver dagger to dispatch one demon after another. Each strike sends a demon back to the hellish abyss, a burst of light marking their banishment. Her eyes are cold and focused, every muscle honed to perfection, as she carves a path through the demonic horde. Gunnar and the others work quickly to stabilize Jewel, who is losing blood fast. Bianca, still reeling from the shock, snaps into action, pulling out bandages and applying pressure to Jewel's wounds. Desiree, despite her recent amputation and the pain radiating through her leg, grits her teeth and helps to hold Jewel steady, her face pale but resolute. "Stay with us, Jewel," Gunnar urges, his voice tight with emotion. "We're not losing anyone else today." Jewel's eyes flutter open, her breathing ragged but determined. She manages a weak nod, her fingers curling around Gunnar's arm in a silent gesture of trust. The battle rages around them, but the wolves are a force of nature. Beta leaps onto a demon, ripping into its throat with a savage snarl. Alpha barrels through another group, his immense size and strength sending them flying. Omega, still young but no less fierce, takes down a demon twice his size with a growl, his fur bristling as he defends his pack and his human companions. As Ashley drags Aleksandra closer to the portal, she shouts over her shoulder, her voice cutting through the noise. "Gunnar, we need to get out of here now!" Gunnar nods, knowing she's right. With the immediate threat being handled by the wolves and Karina, he and the others lift Jewel carefully, making their way towards the portal as fast as they can, while ensuring her safety. Karina continues her deadly dance, her dagger flashing with each precise strike, dispatching the demons that still swarm around. She moves like a shadow, her presence almost otherworldly as she cuts down one creature after another. The demons, sensing the shift in battle, grow more frantic, their attacks more desperate, but they can't withstand the combined force of the wolves and Karina's relentless assault. Gunnar leads the way towards the portal, supporting Jewel with one arm while keeping his rifle ready in the other. Desiree, despite her injury, hobbles alongside them, refusing to slow down. She knows every second counts, and every step is a victory over the pain coursing through her body. Bianca covers their rear, her eyes scanning the area for any remaining threats. Just as they reach the portal, a final massive demon emerges from the shadows, a towering beast with blazing red eyes and claws like razors. It roars, the sound shaking the very walls of the fortress, and charges directly at Gunnar and the team, intent on stopping them from escaping. Karina, seeing the imminent threat, throws herself between the demon and the team, her dagger at the ready. She dodges its first swipe, rolling to the side and coming up with a quick slash across its chest. The demon howls in pain but doesn't falter, swinging its massive arm towards her. Before it can strike, Beta and Alpha leap at the demon from either side, their powerful jaws latching onto its arms. Omega follows suit, biting into its leg with a fierce growl. The demon thrashes, trying to shake them off, but the wolves hold firm, their combined strength enough to keep it pinned down. Ashley and Sophia help Aleksandra through the portal, and Gunnar turns back to see Karina land the final blow with Jewel's dagger, plunging it into the demon's chest. The creature lets out a final, deafening roar as it dissolves into smoke, banished back to the hell from which it came. With the last of the demons vanquished, Karina grabs Jewel's dagger from the dissipating mist and sprints towards the portal. "Go! Go!" she yells. "Get everyone through!" Gunnar, Ashley, Desiree, Bianca, and Sophia rush through the portal, carrying Jewel and supporting each other. Karina is the last to go, holding Jewel's dagger tightly as she leaps through, the wolves following close behind, their forms blurred as they pass into the swirling light. The team emerges back at the agency headquarters, breathless and battered, but alive. The portal closes behind them, sealing off the fortress and the horrors they left behind. Medical personnel rush forward, taking Jewel and Desiree to the infirmary, where doctors immediately begin treating their wounds. Gunnar stands at the center of the room, his chest heaving as he catches his breath. He looks around at his team, all of them exhausted but alive, and feels a surge of relief and gratitude. They had faced unimaginable horrors, and though the cost was high, they had survived. Ashley approaches, her face pale but resolute. "We did it. We got Aleksandra back. And Jewel, she'll make it. She's tough." Gunnar nods, his gaze shifting to the closed portal, the memories of the fierce battle still fresh in his mind. "We did it," he agrees, his voice filled with determination. "But this isn't over. Ultranaecious is still out there, and the Black Dawn won't stop. We need to be ready for whatever comes next." The team gathers around, each of them feeling the weight of the battle they just fought, and the battles still to come. They know that they are stronger together, and that whatever challenges lie ahead, they will face them as a pack. 2 weeks pass, and the atmosphere at the agency's headquarters is tense but focused. The team has been hard at work rebuilding, refocusing, and preparing for whatever comes next. Gunnar has been deep in thought, considering Aeliana's information about the Starlight Gem and what it could mean for their battle against Ultranaecious. Aeliana approaches Gunnar early one morning, her expression serious but calm. Her presence always brings a sense of quiet strength, a reminder of the ancient wisdom she carries. She finds him in his office, poring over maps and reports. "Gunnar," Aeliana says softly, her voice carrying a note of urgency. "I have been meditating and consulting the ancient texts of my realm. I believe I can create a portal to send you directly to the location of the Starlight Gem. But there is a condition: you must go alone. This journey is one that only you can undertake. The path to the gem requires the spirit and resolve of a single warrior. It is a test as much as a mission." Gunnar looks up, surprise flickering in his eyes. He has always been a man of action, used to leading his team into battle, never one to go alone. But he knows Aeliana's words carry weight. If she says this is a journey he must take alone, then he trusts her judgment. He nods, determination settling in his features. "Understood, Aeliana. If that's what it takes, I'll do it," Gunnar replies. He pauses for a moment, considering the implications of leaving his team behind. "I need to inform the others. They need to know what to do while I'm gone." Aeliana nods, her eyes filled with a mixture of concern and support. "I will prepare the portal. When you are ready, come to the ritual chamber. Gunnar stands and heads to the briefing room, where the remaining members of the agency are gathered. They've been waiting for orders, knowing something big is coming. As he enters, the room falls silent, all eyes turning to him. He takes a deep breath, looking at each of them in turn. I have some news, Gunnar begins, his voice steady but somber. Aeliana has found a way to send me to the location of the Starlight Gem, but I have to go alone. This is a journey that I must undertake by myself. While I'm gone, I have orders for each of you. He turns to Alex, his expression serious. Alex, you and Karina will continue to hunt down and eliminate any Black Dawn operatives you find. But understand this. As far as the world is concerned, the agency is dead. You're no longer agents. You operate under the radar, without any official support. This mission is now a ghost operation. Keep it quiet, keep it clean, and keep it off the books. Alex nods, understanding the gravity of the situation. We'll do what we have to, Gunnar. The Black Dawn won't know what hit them. Karina, standing beside Alex, gives a firm nod, her eyes glinting with determination. We'll keep the fight going. They won't be able to hide from us. Gunnar then turns to Clora. Clora, you'll work with Aeliana on her realm. Study the supernatural, learn everything you can. If there are other weapons or artifacts that can help us, we need to know about them. This knowledge could be the key to our survival and victory. Clora's face lights up with a hint of excitement and determination. I've always wanted to learn more about the realms beyond ours. I'll do everything I can to find more ways to fight back. Next, Gunnar looks at Bianca, his voice softer but still firm. Bianca, you'll be working at the training facility, rebuilding and supporting the new recruits. We need fresh blood, people who can step up if and when the time comes. Your experience will be invaluable in shaping the next generation. Bianca nods, her expression resolute. I understand, Gunnar. I'll make sure they're ready. We won't be caught off guard again. Turning to Olivia, Gunnar's expression softens slightly. Olivia, you're being retired from active duty. You've served the agency well, but it's time to pass on your knowledge. You'll be an instructor at the training facility, guiding new recruits. Your experience in the field is unmatched. They need your wisdom. Olivia gives a small, understanding smile. I'll do my best to prepare them, Gunnar. It's hard to step back, but I know it's the right thing to do. Finally, Aleksandra steps forward, her face pale but resolute. Her ordeal has left her physically weakened, but her spirit is unbroken. Gunnar, I can't do this anymore, she says, her voice steady but filled with emotion. I need time to heal, both physically and mentally. I'm going home. I need to find myself again before I can be of any use to anyone else. Gunnar nods, understanding the weight of her words. Take all the time you need, Aleksandra. You've been through more than anyone should. We'll be here if and when you're ready to return. Aleksandra gives a small, grateful nod and steps back. The room is silent for a moment, the weight of the decisions settling over them all. Gunnar takes a deep breath, looking at each member of his team. I know this is a lot to take in. We're all on different paths now, but we're still a family. We're still fighting the same fight, just in different ways. I have faith in all of you. We will find a way to stop Ultranaecious and the Black Dawn, no matter what it takes. With that, the team disperses, each member moving to fulfill their new roles. Gunnar heads to the ritual chamber, where Aeliana is waiting, the portal shimmering with a soft, otherworldly light. He pauses at the threshold, looking back one last time at his team before stepping forward. I'll see you all again. Count on it. He steps through the portal, the world around him dissolving into a swirl of colors and light. As he travels to the distant realm where the Starlight Gem awaits, his mind is filled with thoughts of his team, his mission, and the unknown challenges that lie ahead. He knows this journey will test him in ways he's never imagined, but he's ready. He has to be. For his team, for the agency, and for the world. On the other side, he finds himself standing in a strange new land, bathed in a twilight glow. The air is cool, filled with the scent of unfamiliar flora. In the distance, a tall mountain rises, its peak shrouded in mist. He knows his destination lies at the top, where the Starlight Gem awaits. With a deep breath, Gunnar begins his ascent, the weight of his mission heavy on his shoulders, but his resolve unbreakable. The path ahead is uncertain, but he is ready to face whatever challenges come his way. Alone but not alone in spirit, Gunnar steps forward, his journey to the Starlight Gem just beginning. Chapter. In the days following Gunnar's departure through the portal, the atmosphere within the agency's headquarters is one of quiet determination mixed with uncertainty. The team members have accepted their new roles and are preparing for the tasks ahead, knowing that each of them will now play a different part in the ongoing battle against the Black Dawn and Ultranaecious. Aeliana, with her otherworldly grace and ancient wisdom, moves through the facility with a purpose. She seeks out Karina, who is sharpening her weapons in the armory, preparing for her next mission with Alex. Karina's eyes are focused, her movements precise, but there's a tension in her shoulders, a readiness for the unknown that lies ahead. Aeliana approaches quietly, her footsteps nearly silent against the cold metallic floor. She holds a long, slender object wrapped in a shimmering silver cloth. As she nears Karina, she clears her throat softly to get her attention. Karina looks up, her expression cautious but respectful. Aeliana, she greets, pausing her work. "What can I do for you?" Aeliana offers a small smile and extends the wrapped object towards her. "I have something for you, Karina, a gift of sorts and a tool for your journey." She carefully unwraps the cloth, revealing a gleaming silver katana. The blade is elegant and deadly, its surface etched with ancient runes that glow faintly with a soft blue light. "This katana is imbued with the same magic as the Pack's daggers," Aeliana explains. "It has the power to banish demons and trap their essence, just like the daggers. I hope it will aid you in your quest to hunt down the Black Dawn operatives." Karina's eyes widen as she reaches out to take the katana, feeling its weight in her hands. The weapon feels perfectly balanced, almost as if it was made specifically for her. She runs a finger along the blade, feeling the energy humming beneath the surface. "Thank you, Aeliana," she says, her voice sincere. "This will be a great help. I won't let you down." Aeliana nods, her expression serious. "Good luck to you, Karina. May the spirits guide you and keep you safe on your journey." With a respectful nod, Karina secures the katana at her side, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. She knows the task ahead will not be easy, but she's ready to face whatever comes her way. She turns back to her preparations, her mind already on the hunt. Aeliana then makes her way to Clora, who is in the library surrounded by books on supernatural lore and artifacts. Clora looks up as Aeliana enters, her eyes bright with curiosity. "Clora," Aeliana begins, "we depart in the morning for my realm. There is much to learn, and time is of the essence. Make sure you are ready." Clora nods eagerly, already feeling a sense of excitement and anticipation about the journey ahead. "I'll be ready, Aeliana. I've been looking forward to this. There's so much we don't know about the supernatural, and I want to learn everything I can." Aeliana smiles gently, pleased with Clora's enthusiasm. "Good. Knowledge is our greatest weapon in this fight. Prepare yourself for what lies ahead. The realm we are going to is unlike anything you've seen before." Next, Aeliana approaches Desiree, who is in the infirmary undergoing a final checkup on her new prosthetic leg. Desiree has been adjusting well, her determination and resilience evident in every step she takes. She looks up as Aeliana enters, offering a smile despite the pain that still lingers. "Desiree," Aeliana says, her voice calm and reassuring, "I have something for you." She hands Desiree a small talisman, a silver pendant engraved with ancient runes and symbols. "You are now the sole guardian of this facility while Gunnar is away. If you ever need me, use this talisman to summon me. It will connect us across realms." Desiree takes the talisman, feeling the cool metal against her palm. She nods, her expression resolute. "Thank you, Aeliana. I won't let anything happen to this place. I'll keep it safe, I promise." Aeliana nods, placing a hand on Desiree's shoulder. "I know you will. You have the strength and courage to protect this place and everyone in it. Trust in yourself." After ensuring that Desiree understands the talisman's power, Aeliana makes her way to the briefing room, where Reagan is gathering her things. Reagan has just received her new orders, transferring her to Fort Liberty in North Carolina. She's set to join a specialized unit there, bringing her expertise to a new team. Aeliana catches her just as she's about to leave. "Reagan," she calls softly, and Reagan turns to face her. "I wanted to wish you luck on your new assignment. You've been a valuable member of this team, and I know you'll excel at Fort Liberty. Remember, the fight isn't over, and you'll always have a place here." Reagan smiles, a mixture of pride and sadness in her eyes. "Thank you, Aeliana. I'll never forget what I've learned here, and I'll make sure to keep in touch. This fight isn't over for me either." She gives a quick nod before turning and heading out, her stride confident as she walks away from the only home she's known for years. Sophia, having made the decision to return to her roots, is in the process of packing her things. She's decided to go back to her police department as a captain, bringing the skills and experiences she's gained at the agency back to the force. Her return is bittersweet, filled with both relief and sorrow as she prepares to leave her comrades behind. Aeliana finds her in the locker room, saying her goodbyes to some of the other agents. "Sophia," Aeliana says, "I wanted to see you off. You're going back to where you're needed most. Your leadership and strength will make a difference. Don't forget that you're part of this family, no matter where you are." Sophia nods, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "I won't forget, Aeliana. This place, these people, they're a part of me now. I'll always carry that with me." With a final hug, she turns and walks out, ready to face the next chapter of her life. Jewel, having recovered well from her injuries, has chosen to transfer to the training academy as a nurse. Her experience in the field and her skills in medicine make her an invaluable asset to the new recruits. She's in the infirmary saying goodbye to the medical team when Aeliana approaches. "Jewel," Aeliana says, her voice warm, "you've been through so much, and yet you've come through stronger than ever. The academy is lucky to have you. You'll be an inspiration to all the new recruits." Jewel smiles, a sense of peace settling over her. "Thank you, Aeliana. I've learned a lot here, and I want to pass that on. If I can help even one person the way I've been helped, it'll be worth it." With each farewell, Aeliana feels the weight of the changes that are sweeping through the agency. The world thinks they're dead, but as she watches each member of the team find their new path, she knows that's far from the truth. The spirit of the agency lives on in every person who has walked through its halls, in every battle fought, and in every life saved. As she prepares to leave with Clora for her realm, Aeliana reflects on the journey ahead. There is still so much to learn, so much to fight for. The battle against darkness never truly ends, but with allies like these, she knows they will continue to stand against it, no matter where their paths lead. The agency may be changing, but its mission endures, and so does its hope.